Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm standing in tonight for Marty Akins, who could not be with us tonight. I'm going to introduce the board and then ask you to do a few things for me. So to my left is John Himmel, board member Jonah Barry, board member Stacy Clemane, and board member Charles O'Brien. Behind me is Inspectional Services Director Rob Collin, and to my right is our clerk Kathleen Griffin. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to mute your phones so that there's no interruption of the meeting, and ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes of the last meeting.
Make a motion to waive the meetings as presented from the last meeting.
Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Second.
I make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, we're all on.
Yeah.
Yours a little closer, Russell.
Okay, so now we have the swearing in. So if you're going to testify tonight, I need you to stand up and take an oath that you'll tell the truth. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matters now in hearing? Thank you. You may be seated. All right, one announcement, ZBA 2575-9-11 Freeman Street. The applicant has requested that the application be withdrawn. So there'll be no hearing on the Freeman Street application. If you're here for that, you don't have to stay. Okay? Yes.
Let's throw it out.
Next case is ZBA 26-738 Walker Street. Board request, I'll strike that, 26-738 Walker Street. If the applicant could come up. Could you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Yamei Lin. My address is 38 Walker Street, Quincy.
Tell us what you'd like to do.
Oh, okay. So we had one hearing in March, and then after the hearing, we do some revision for the design, and then we reduce So we will convert one family to two family, and then we after the last hearing, so we we revised the design. We reduce the bedroom from total 5 to 4. And then also at this time, we respectfully request to keep 2 full bathroom with 4 bedroom. I understand last time we talked about, say, 1.5. So, excuse me. So we want to, because we didn't increase any square footage or any messing of the house, but to have a 2 bathroom just to make it more convenient in a long term for usage. Yeah.
So I'm seeing you haven't changed the basement plan on the first floor on the unit 1 at all.
Yes.
What changes did you make to unit 1
What change on unit 1?
since the last time we saw the plans?
For the unit 1, let me see, I'm sorry. Yeah, unit 1, no change,
Okay,
no change. So,
because when we reviewed our notes last time, we were not in favor of a full bath in the
yes,
basement.
yes,
So
yes,
you've not changed it. You're still asking for a full bath in the basement.
yeah, if possible, because we were thinking 1/2 and then 1/4. I understand that you guys, so after we thinking, we still think that if we can keep 2 bathroom, because we see the same street, they have the 6 bedroom, also have 6 bathroom. What I mean is that if, because this house originally has a 4 bedroom, and then originally we want to do 5 bedrooms, so we are okay to reduce the bedroom, but for the bathroom, we just think that it's more convenient because I do have the experience before. For example, if we say one unit, we have 3 or 4 people, if taking bathroom need to take a turn because, for example, if they all taking bath at a similar time, we need to wait for next one. If we have 2 full bathroom, it would be easier for.
So I think I can appreciate that, except for the fact that I know that I did go back and rewatch the video, and everybody was in favor of not having 2 full bathrooms, so I can't imagine that how far you're going to get with that tonight. You didn't take out the office, you didn't do anything with that basement that has its own walkout that you put a full bath in. There are a lot of things that were asked of the board for you to maybe adjust or change, and it doesn't seem like you did any of them except take out one of the bedrooms.
I see what you mean.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any changes. What have you changed specifically in the plans from the first time you presented to the set you're presenting tonight?
I think the change is the bedroom. The bedroom,
She took a bedroom out.
yeah,
In which unit?
in unit 2 on the second floor.
So it
Origi-
says bedroom 3, but it's really bedroom 2?
In the existing, it has a bedroom. And
No,
then-
this says proposed attic, and it says bedroom 3.
Yeah, then sorry, there might be a typo.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, it will be the bedroom 2. And then we'll,
So on your proposed attic plan, the plan's dated 4/12/26. You're still showing a bedroom and a full bath on the top floor. And, I guess they took a bedroom off the second floor.
What's all that?
yeah, took the bedroom.
Was the second bedroom on the, if I'm looking at where it says, I know it says bedroom 3, but where in the attic, the bedroom on the left, was the other bedroom on the right that you took out?
No, they turned this bedroom into a family room. on the
Gotcha,
second
okay.
floor. So it looks like you turned a bedroom on the proposed second floor into a family room instead of a bedroom.
Yes, sorry, I should highlight it for you.
Okay. So the third floor is unchanged. The second bedroom was turned into a family room. On the second floor, you've kept the office.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I understand before you say if to convert office to parlor closet, because right now, many people work from home, so having a kind of office, because this one is already in the building, just the layout, because there has a lot window, it's like kind of window like that. So it's
bay
nice
window.
to have kind of space for an office if possible.
Okay. The concern with a full bath in the lower level is that it's going to turn into a bedroom in the future.
Oh, I see.
So that is why the feedback
Okay.
was we were only in favor of a half bathroom.
Okay. I understand your concern. So if we say unit 1 have 1.5, and then the second unit, can we have a 2 full bathroom? Because if we say,
You have 2 full bathrooms in your second unit,
yes,
as proposed.
yes. What I mean is that if the unit 1 has 1.5 from favor, right? Can we keep the unit 2 as a 2 full bathroom? Because it has,
Can you
It
keep
depends.
2 bathrooms in unit 2?
She's asking if she changes one to a half, if we would let her keep the other one. So that building would have 2.5, 3
3.5.
full, 1 half.
yes, thank you.
What about the mold up? Can you ask about that? Marty had asked about a mold report. Can I ask about that? Well,
What- Our main objection initially, besides the full bath,
Yes.
was a bedroom. Right?
We were concerned about the number of bedrooms in unit 2. So
So
they
she took the
kept,
bedroom
they
out
kept
and made
the
a...
attic and they made the bedroom a family room.
and
It's
there's-
not,
There's no structural changes, they're just splitting it and,
Just what they're calling it.
right, that's what I'm saying. Instead of it being called a bedroom, it's being called a family room.
Correct. In the closets, they took the closet out and made a bigger closet in the bedroom. In bedroom number 1. I have the 2 plans.
And instead of 4 full baths, we're going to 3.5,
That's what she's asking. But
and the half is in the basement, correct?
the basement's a walkout as well.
With the, and the,
What if we want the wall hanging out between the dining room and the office? Make it less of a bedroom. Yeah. We had given you comments last time that the office not be a dedicated office, that it's either opened up to the dining room or the other bedroom. If you come to enough of these meetings, you realize we're trying to be mindful of the number of bedrooms and rooms that could be easily turned into a bedroom. So as I look at your proposed second floor, the office as is could easily be a small bedroom or nursery, and your family room. The change is immaterial. It could easily be converted to a bedroom again. So I still look at these plans and read 4 potential bedrooms versus 2 that you've shown. So I would be in favor of your second floor unit with a room to the office being removed, either to the bedroom or the dining room. Because as it is now, it still could easily act as a small bedroom.
Okay, so do you mean that to open up the whole wall, right?
One of the sides, the
One of the
office would have to be part of the dining room or part of the bedroom.
No, this
And that's
gonna
just
be-
my opinion.
This gonna be very small bedroom. No, it's not gonna be
不是
bedroom.，
他是说把这个打开跟这个连在一起。
还要多做很多事情。
Built more down there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's not gonna be useful.
你上面已经给他
Ask.
OK，你先
Well, we just don't want it as a dedicated room. It has to be, I would make it a part of the dining room. It could be an office. You could put a desk there and make it a nook, you know. We don't want it to be a dedicated room. And then up on this attic level, I'm not clear what the whole footprint's being used for. When you come to the top of the stairs, what is this side of the floor plan?
What do you mean? You mean the
The right side that has nothing on it.
the right side?
What's going to be on this side of the room?
So right now, right now, originally, because the attic usually like that, it's a kind of hip roof. So there will be a space like that, maybe it's a very low. So right now, we didn't draw it out because we are not sure, maybe probably to have a wall there to put a closet, not real closet, just to put storage, like kind of,
So in the knee wall, you'd put storage, is that what you say?
yeah, for example, if it's a hip like that, this one is like that go down, so maybe just.
We would want that whole side to be storage, not to be open space. Right now, the way I look at the plan, it looks like it's open space. That should be made into closets and storage. So when you come up the stairs, you could have a door into that area, but not open, not a large open studio up there.
I see what you mean now, it's that, whole wall.
Closed off. It could be storage, but not, the way you've presented it, it looks like an open studio up there.
I see.
Yes, the right side should be all closed off.
Right, I mean, is there a washer dryer gonna be up there?
Originally, we thought that to propose a washer dryer on the storage area you mentioned, the W and D.
So what I think you really need to do is come back with some plans that show what we recommended previously. All right, not drawing and scratching on this plan. We need a new plan, okay?
How much time do you need to submit new plans?
Can be quick. We can submit maybe about in a week.
So the next available date would be the 9th of June, and when would she need the plans to you last?
She would need to get the plans to me no later than,
都放出都
21st, the 21st, Thursday, the 21st.
New plans by Thursday, the 21st, and the meeting would be June 9th.
And Stacy still has questions.
I just had
Oh, I'm
two more
sorry.
questions. That's okay. Did you have a chance to address, I know the last time when the chairman had asked you to address the potential mold issue?
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to address that?
So last time what we did is after the hearing, we do the cleaning, the mold. So do we need to call people to do inspection? Like, is it what you need? Like, for
I
the
just knew
mold?
that they had mentioned that
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
those
yeah.
walls, there's probably mold, and he wanted to make sure, like, I don't know, I just didn't know if you had addressed that at all.
Let's see, we need a mill.
So he just guess.
I'm sorry.
Somebody in the,
You're going to need a third-party vendor
Third
to
party.
go in and check for the black mold
Okay,
and certify that there isn't any.
okay. So this one, does it have to be done before the hearing for this one?
I think the vice chairman can speak more to that than I can.
On the issue of what? I'm sorry.
Does she need to have that done before?
I would have it all done.
Yeah.
And present it to us at the same time.
Okay, so do a inspection, like kind of the third party to do inspection and then bring the report to you guys, right?
By the
Okay.
21st with the.
21st with the joint.
You would drop it off to the zoning board office, not bring it to the meeting.
Okay, sure. So I just want to paraphrase what we're saying about the design change, make sure that next time you, so we're talking about unit one. I know that you guys' favor is a bathroom to have a half bathroom. But unit two, if the design, it can keep the 2 full bathroom, right?
I mean, I'm not agreeing to that.
No, we're pretty adamant that there should be only a half bath in that basement.
Correct. She's asking about the second
second-
unit,
the-
unit 2.
Yeah.
She's proposing it 2 full baths. She's asking how we feedback on the 2 full baths.
Well, it's the second and third floor. I don't have a problem with that.
I do.
Yeah.
I would not vote for 2 full bathrooms.
why?
Because there's just, maybe when you submit the new plans, but right now, this just screams more bedrooms than what are actually on here. And that full bathroom in the basement that you can walk out, you could easily turn into another unit.
No, if somebody want to more bedroom, it's can be anywhere, not just, even have a no bedroom, somebody want a bedroom in the basement, they still do.
But even if you don't do it, the next person that owns that house could do it easily, convert it to a bedroom. Our position is that because when you add bedrooms, parking changes, and there's too many bedrooms the way we look at it right now. So if you're not gonna have it as a bedroom, the next party that comes in after you could easily convert it to a bedroom and have another room. So we don't want it done now to prevent it from happening in the future. That's one of the things that we look at. Because what happens is, along with the bedrooms come cars and people. And then that's another reason I would try to hold them down.
And the bathroom that I was talking about was in the other unit. That one has already been addressed, I believe. I was talking about the 2 full on top.
You're talking about the top one, right? The active one? Or the
I
basement
wouldn't
one?
vote for a full bathroom for 2 full bathrooms in either of those units.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's my opinion.
No, I understand. Thank you. I just want to, because for us, right, if it's already single, the family already have 4 bedroom, and then, so for us, from our point of view, if we want to convert, so make it better as, if, for example, convert to 2 family as a better. So that's why bathroom is, from my opinion, is a very,
We would be more in favor of a second half bathroom in the ground floor unit if it was on the main living level. We're not comfortable that a bathroom in the basement level would turn into a bedroom.
yes.
So if you wanted to redesign your first floor plans and perhaps add a half bath on the first floor, we would likely be in favor of that. The bathroom in the lower level isn't working for any of us because it would be very easily converted into someone's bedroom by having a bathroom in that space.
And then the unit 2, So I understand the unit 1 on the basement, first of all, and the unit 2 and attic. So can it be 2 bathroom?
2 half
Two
baths
full.
and 2 full, is that all right?
She's asking
No,
for
she's
2
asking if she
full
can-
in
I know she's
unit 2.
asking.
Because I'm sorry, I don't want to waste so many time, but because we
That's
want
okay.
to provide a comprehensive design for next time, because it already been almost half year, so we want to get it continue. So what I mean is that for the second unit, for the second floor and attic, we okay to keep the 2 full bathroom? Because I feel like right now for multiple family to having more bedroom is reasonable from our point of view. I understand your concern. As my husband said, maybe he didn't express it clearly. I think what he means is that how to use the house, it depends on people who in the house. So for the bathroom, this one, without like taking any more like other thing. So from up here, we will, like, possible, we will, for example, basement have a half or no bathroom, and then, but for the second unit, if possible, we will prefer to request for 2 full bathroom.
So the request is 2 full bathrooms for unit 2.
2,
No bathroom on basement level.
but maybe a 1.5 on the first floor, if we can kind of utilize the design to make it.
You want to add a half bath in addition to the full bath on the first floor.
This is the
Yeah,
second
because,
Second floor.
Get it out of the
I guess the
basement.
proposal, I guess, is to take the half bath out of the basement and move it to the first floor. Is that correct? Is that
if
what you want to do?
If that is something that you guys are worried about the bedroom on the basement, that is something we can try to see if anything. Maybe we can use some area on the first floor. That is something that we can try to do. But on the second unit, we will like kindly request to if can keep the 2 full bathroom.
It would make sense to have a bathroom.
I have a suggestion on your second floor plan. I think it would make more sense to make that the bedroom, put the closets back in that room. I think everyone in this board would feel better if the office went away and this was your kitchen, dining, living space. That could be your bedroom. And I think people would feel better about 2 full bathrooms with this being the floor plan. The room as is lends itself to being a bedroom very easily. So by taking out the office walls, this could be your family room. You could still have a small office area here. So this would be the living space, this would be a bedroom, and this would be your bedroom with the
Closed
2 full baths. I think this is a plan. And then I think, if I'm not overspeaking, we would be in favor of a half bath on the main level of Unit 1, no bathroom at all in the basement. So you'd have to rework this plan to add in a half bath. They'd have a full bath and then they can figure out how to add a half.
This is kitchen, living.
But we don't want a bathroom in the basement.
Gotcha.
So bedroom there, bedroom here, 2 full baths.
So I think, and we would all have to vote, but I think that's
Yeah.
probably closer to what
Much closer.
my fellow board members would approve.
It's so you got a full bath and a full bath. Okay.
That's in unit 2.
I know this is my husband, we have talked with this, if they can move the 1.5 bathroom on the first floor might.
I don't think anyone on this board is going to approve a basement bathroom.
You
What
have,
I'm-
you have a lot of space in that. I mean, you have nothing but a family room in that basement. If you have everything on top of it, which is 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a dining room, if this is just a family room, you know, there is other space down there, so make an office, well, not an office, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably the best bet.
That, I think everyone has clearly stated we're not in favor of a bathroom in the lower level. But we would consider a half bath, a 1.5 bath on the main level of Unit 1.
Second unit
2
2.
full bathrooms.
2 full in Unit 2 with the modified floor plan.
Okay. Great, thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
time.
So we're going to continue you to June 9th, right?
June 9th?
A motion?
June 9th. 6 o'clock. Motion, please.
ZBA 26-7, variance finding, convert existing single-family to two-family dwelling, close the front porch. Request of modification with a new rendering to be continued to 6/9/26.
They're gone, that's all right.
Second?
Aye. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, next case. Use this one. CBA 26-8, Ward 4, Elizabeth Wong for a variance to subdivide the parcel and erect a 3-story duplex structure on the newly formed parcel on the premises numbered 115 Town Hill Street, Quincy.
Nothing.
Thank you for bringing a computer.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief. No, so, two system. Oh, I scrolled. Just, I wanna just look that down.
Thank you. Oops, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Edward Fleming. I'm here on behalf of Elizabeth Wong. I'm joined by Elizabeth and her family tonight, and also by Chi Mann from Harding and Mann Design, and Mark Sullivan from Chu Architects. Mark will go over the changes in more detail and show you by the plans. I just kind of wanted to walk through this as well. As this board knows, we were here last year on April 14th. We made our full presentation, which included, which talked about the fact that this was an 11.
Oh.
This is an 11, I don't know what I did. 11,950 square foot parcel. We were seeking to divide the parcel into two lots, one on which the single family house lot would sit, a second lot on which a duplex style house would be built. That new property would be 3 stories in height and would be designed in accordance with the plans that we submitted. We talked about the fact that, and we identified in clear terms the different variances that were requested. And there were a number of different variances requested at that time. And this board made it very clear to all of us that those variances or that number of variances would not be acceptable. So since that time, my client has made, through the efforts of her architect and her engineer, significant changes to the plans that we'd like to highlight tonight. We've eliminated 4 variances that were requested the first time we were here. With regard to and we removed the single-family garage that was in the rear of the site that was leading to 2 of those variances, both a rear variance and a side variance. We've eliminated those 2 variances by eliminating the garage. We've reduced the size of the 2-family house significantly, and we've shifted the building to a point where it now provides for, it now eliminated the variances with respect to the rear setback, with respect to the left side setback, which is next to the, closer to the single-family house. We've eliminated those 2 variances, so that's a total of 4 variances that we've eliminated. The reduction in the size of the house also reduced the FAR request that we were making. And we've changed the driveway system. Rather than providing one large driveway in the front of the parcel or in front of the 2-family that was going to require a paving variance, we've now split that into 2 separate driveways, each driveway now servicing the single unit in that 2-family, and therefore reduced the parking variances that we requested at that time. And in addition to that, we've eliminated the basement or the garage bathroom, or not eliminated it, but changed it from a full bath to a half bath. And I know, I heard the comments that you were talking with this prior applicant about your concerns about converting that and somehow into another unit. So we've made that change to eliminate that concern as well. We really think that these have been responsive to this body. We do have a request for a side setback on the right side of this building. I do, however, want to highlight, if I may just scroll on this plan, I want to show you, the land on which we're going to be seeking a side setback variance is the land here. It's a large parcel of land that goes all the way back from Copeland Street to Town Hill. The building on that land is in the entire front of that parcel is zoned Business B. The small section of the back here is zoned Residence B, but the topography of this site really changes dramatically as it comes from Copeland Street up to Town Hill. And there's significant ledge all along the back of this site, whereby that particular applicant would have a very difficult time utilizing that back section of land. I can also tell this body that I actually worked with that particular owner in years past. And he was talking about the development that would include multiple units on the Business B section of that parcel, whereby that Residence B parcel would have been turned over simply to green space. So the fact that we're seeking a setback variance along this property line, where there's no building and no structure will ever be built, I think shows that it really will have a minimal impact on that particular parcel and in the neighborhood as a whole. So with that, I'd like to have Mark just kind of walk through the changes so you can see them on the plans. I think that you'll see that this is significant, and I hope that you'll see that it addresses the board's primary concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Sullivan from Chu & Company here in Quincy. I'm going to highlight some of the changes that Ed had mentioned. Here we can see the previous rendering and the rendering now from Town Hill Street. One of the main changes, as Ed has mentioned, is that the building itself was made narrower. Essentially, we got rid of a hallway that led from the front to the back of each unit, allowing us to decrease the total width by 8 feet. We gave all of that 8 feet to the left side, which was the concern with the side setback. Previously, it was at 5 feet. Again, now it's up to 13 feet. The other changes, as Ed had mentioned, we're removing that garage, that standalone garage in the back area, which was responsible for the existing lot rear yard setback as well as a side yard setback. So both of those are alleviated. Quickly going down into the plans, just to reiterate some existing photos here. This is looking up east, up Town Hill, looking north onto the site right here. This is the existing single family as it remains today. This is that garage that you can see kind of tucked towards the back that we keep mentioning. And this is that, or looking west, this is that lot that Ed had just mentioned in terms of the unbuildable kind of section of that lot. Could kind of scroll down to the architectural site plan just so we can see it a little bit more clearly. Again, on this left side, Town Hill Street being on the bottom here, this left side was moved back 8 feet. The whole building was also shifted forward to alleviate the rear yard setback. That also helps us get away from that ledge that exists on the site, currently at the back of the site. We, instead of previously designed, we had essentially one large paved area out in front where you can maneuver in and out of each garage. We elected to go with 2 separate driveway areas. This allowed us to add more landscaping along the front, dress up the front a little bit more where it's not necessarily a paved or what appears to be a paved parking lot, while maintaining the same amount of visitor spaces and the 2-car garage. Landscape plan in terms of this, we are adding landscaping along the front. We have this nice permeable paver walkway going down the center to the entryways, adding some small tree areas and some hydrangea planting along the right side to create that further buffer. This is the ground floor plan. So This was the office previously mentioned where we decreased it in size by giving some of that space back to the garage space itself, creating more storage space within that garage. This was previously a full bathroom, narrowed down to a half bathroom. And then previously, we had essentially a hallway running back to this. So now this really acts as just a mudroom for the back patio space. It's directly off of the garage space as opposed to its own sort of hallway and what was considered last time as kind of like a bedroom. So that's been mirrored on each side. In terms of the unit breakdown, again, both of them 3-bedroom units. That has remained the same. We just kind of compacted and redesigned some of the space on the inside to mold into this new footprint. All 3 bedrooms, again, being up on the top floor here. 2 bathrooms for the 3 bedrooms, along with a half bathroom on the main floor. Front elevations, front and rear elevation here, we've maintained a lot of the same materiality that can be found in the residential fabric everywhere around us. Fiber cement lap siding. So a gable dormer that's more traditional and found in this neighborhood. Or main gable roof along with gable dormers for each side. And again, sort of the entryway mirrored on itself with the main entry for each unit being in the center here, led from that permeable paver pathway. And the side elevations, again, just a mirror kind of on each other.
Is it a common front door?
No, 2 separate front doors. Just a common path that leads to it, and then kind of an entryway that serves both. So, yeah, there's a door right here and a door right here. You can also see it on the ground floor here. 2 separate doors.
So to get to the back office, bath area, you would have to walk through the garage. You'd have to walk through unfinished space.
Well, the garage is a finished space per se, because we'd be insulating around it at this point.
Sure, but you're walking
yes,
through the
you would be
garage.
walking through the garage, yes. Again, that space is really to act more as a mudroom space as well for the breakout rear patio space. We wanted to maintain some open space for each unit. Again, the front becomes a little tricky with the driveways and how we have to access the site.
Any other questions for the applicant?
And the other thing that I just wanted to highlight as well is we talked about the fact that the size of this parcel allows for a 3-unit building, which we think that the 2 separate buildings actually allow it to break it up a little bit and make it a little bit smaller, because a new 3-unit building could actually take up a large portion of that site and essentially go across the entire site and eliminate some of the green space that's being created in front. That new building could really, all would have to do is would have to be 25 feet, and 13 feet off the side, but it would take up the entire middle section of the site. So when we looked at that, we talked about whether or not that was an option. The elimination of the single family really is cost prohibitive. And we think that this model's better. It fits in better with the neighborhood where there are more smaller houses of this nature.
We had asked for a landscaping plan that included work to be done on the single-family parcel and also renovation plans. I think what none of us want to see is that you parcel off, you get a free lot from this little house, do nothing to it, sell the house and make all your money in your townhouses. So I'm not comfortable with what you presented without a renovation and landscape plan that includes the existing single-family house,
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
what
a
we
cost.
asked for.
Yeah, that was a cost that was kind of prohibitive at this stage because this parcel is not owned by the applicant at this time. So we didn't yet retain the services. Or have you done that?
They do own it.
Right, but then
No, they do own it, Counselor.
You do not.
Tree down, right? They own it.
Yeah, they own it.
She's indicating that she wants to see renovations that you're proposing to the single-family house with a landscape plan for that single-family house. But that's something you haven't retained Mark to keep that work. So that would have to be, that's just an additional cost
Okay.
in order to do.
But they do own it.
They do now. They didn't own it last time.
Yes, they did. I checked the record.
When did you buy it? Oh, you did? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
So
My mistake.
I run titles on everything.
That was my
so-
mistake. That was my mistake. That wasn't anything she represented. I
But you're still taking a conforming lot and creating two non-conforming lots.
No, this actually, the second lot is conforming. The second lot is conforming in size. We're creating a non-conforming lot for the single family. But again, it's 3 units are allowed by right.
Then why not do it?
Because again, it's cost prohibitive based on what they purchased, the purchase price of the home, and to remove an existing home that's otherwise livable.
But we're not here to make sure that somebody's investment works out well.
I understand that, but you're here to evaluate a proposal that, does it fit within the community that it services? Is it providing new housing for the Quincy community that's so desperately needed?
And having
It
said that,
provides-
we did ask for renovation and landscaping designs for the existing
I don't
property,
remember that.
which have not been presented.
It's
Yeah,
in my,
I
it's in
don't-
my notes. I guarantee we asked for
I don't
it.
remember that, but I remember Kathleen asking for that, yeah.
I guarantee you, we asked for a full landscape plan, including a single-family home, and we indicated we'd like to see work proposed to the single-family home.
Okay.
So if what you're saying is you're proposing nothing to the single-family home, I would not be voting in favor.
Yeah,
of what
no,
you've
that's
presented.
not the proposal. The proposal is to renovate the existing single-family home. We just don't have plans that we can share with you yet because they haven't retained Mr.
Okay, well, we'll be
you know,
thrilled to
Mark
see it all as a
to do that.
concise project.
Okay.
Agreed.
I was just about to ask about the other house, so you beat me to it.
The office is still bigger than your other bedrooms, so I think you could use some more storage space in the garage. Your office is bigger than the bedrooms upstairs.
The office itself?
Exactly.
I don't,
The office is still too big for my liking. Your office
Okay.
is 9 by 11, your bedroom upstairs is 9 by 10.
that's absolutely something we can look into. Is it beneficial, I know you mentioned something about, sorry, in the previous application of opening it up. If we were to do an opening there without necessarily a door,
That's better.
okay.
I just think, a 20-foot wide garage is very tight. 2 cars in a 20-foot garage
Yeah, so-
is tight. So where does all the other belongings that people have go? I think the space would be better used as storage, so cars actually get parked in the garage.
Well, so 20 feet, we've done in the past definitely works with it. We added a depth so that we can get the storage that way. The issue with going wider, just to explain our kind of rationale behind that.
It's your
Was to
setback.
get the setback, obviously, and more setback.
The
If we-
office still feels big if it's really an office, it feels big at 9 by 11.
If we squeezed it and added that space to like the mudroom area, is that a potential solve along with removing the door?
I think we'd all feel more comfortable if the office space was smaller. I don't care how you rejigger it, if you make a bigger mudroom, but.
That's fine.
the
I
actual
wanted to
Room of
clarify.
the office feels too big for me as an office.
Perfectly fine. I just wanted to clarify that. Again,
The
Decreasing
total
the 9
envelope
foot
is
dimension.
fine.
Yeah.
The total envelope is fine. The actual size of the room feels too big to me.
perfect,
Thank you.
no problem.
All set?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Your presentation's completed. Council, Council, your presentation complete?
That's
All right, thank you. Is there anyone undecided or in favor? Undecided or in favor would like to speak? Okay, that part of the hearing is closed. Is there anyone opposed? Is there anyone opposed to the petition? No. Call that part of the hearing closed. Okay. Sounds like if it, well, let me just say how I feel about it. I'm actually quite comfortable with the drawings as done. I think that you have improved in a significant number of ways the original petition. I think you've done what we've asked for. I don't recall the request, so I defer judgment on the request for renovation drawings on the single family. I don't know if that was put into the record or not, but for the plans in front of me, I am comfortable with the plans and wait to hear from my other members.
I appreciate the work done on it. You massaged it up properly, it fits better, but I'm still not comfortable with leaving that house next door on a non-conforming lot now with no plans for renovation at all. So I would not be in favor of it.
I agree with Attorney Chin. The townhouses look very good. Again, my office size adjustment. I'd love to see the renovations and landscape plan that includes the single-family house.
I mean, I feel the same exact way as Barry.
Similar comments.
Okay, so do you want to have a, counsel?
If it's possible, if it could be continued to the next hearing date, because I think we can certainly work to propose renovations for the single family and ask our landscape architect to add some landscaping to the single family. I apologize to the board, I just don't recall that comment being made. I do know that Kathleen did ask me during the process, however, I didn't recall that you had done so. So had I known that it was important and necessary, I would have certainly asked my client to take that step and make those changes as well.
The next available is June 9th, not
June 9th
next, not in 2 weeks, June 9th.
June 9th is
Okay.
fine, yes, thank you.
And so your drawings would need to begin by, what was the date we gave last time?
I'll email all of that information
Okay.
when I need it and
Okay.
the deadline.
Ms. Griffin's going to email the deadlines on the drawings.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Do you want to kick it out a little?
Okay. Right.
Am I?
June 23rd.
Yeah,
June 23rd is the next one after the
23rd, a little bit better?
July 14th is the one after that.
We'll do the 23rd, and then if necessary, we request a continuance, but hopefully we'll shoot. Thank you.
June 23rd?
We all set the 23rd? ZBA 26-8, Elizabeth Wong for variance subdivide the parcel, erect a 3-story duplex structure, newly formed parcel on the premise numbered 115 Town Hill Street, Quincy, Mass. Make a motion to continue to June 23rd, 2026.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, the next matter is ZBA 26-6, Ward 4, Attorney Patrick Foley for a variance to demolish the existing structure and construct.
Plug that in so it doesn't.
Construct 3 townhouse-style homes with 9 parking spaces on the premises numbered 46 Bates Avenue, Quincy, Mass.
Good. Try some room up there. Good. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is Patrick Foley, business address 265 Willard Street. I'm the attorney for the project here tonight. I'm joined by Brian Saluti, who's our architect, and Sean Hardy, who's our engineer. The project we're here to discuss tonight is 46 Bates Ave. Currently, right now on 46 Bates Ave is a single-family home that sits on a 7,300 square foot lot that is in the residential B zoning district of the city. Currently, right now on this lot is an absolute eyesore of a property. And living in Ward 4 myself and having an office right in front of it, it's an absolute disgrace. We went through planning. We got approved by the planning department. The planning department, we started out at 4 units because of density, they knocked us down to 3. So it's 3, we're gonna be going for 3 units with 9 parking spots.
But just a little background on the applicant and the house that's up there right now. And as ugly as it looks on the outside, what was going on inside shouldn't be going on in any community in the city of Quincy. You had drug use, you had homeless people living in there, you had prostitution, you had everything you could possibly name that's a vice going on in there. And then when the weather got nice, we had a backyard that was dimly lit. You had California Ave in the back there, so the party would go outside. And it was also an attraction for people to come there and just an open invitation to leave all their litter there. So that's what was going on with that property. And a few facts I just want to add before Brian takes you through the architect drawings is the way we actually constructed the parking with the entrances to get onto this site is Bates Ave is a very popular cut-through street, the highway and getting to Milton. So the entrances will be off of California Ave, which is a lot less traffic. So pulling in and out, you won't have too many cars. That would be an issue. Also, just in the scope of the neighborhood, when you look around the neighborhood, what we're proposing fits into the character of the neighborhood. Right next door, you have a multifamily home where our lot is actually a little bit bigger, and we actually provide a much better parking situation with 9 parking spots. And when it comes to lot area per dwelling unit, right across the street, you have, there's 2, right on California Ave, which are 2 larger developments, which I think are 15 or 16 units. So our lot area per dwelling unit is actually better than what they provide there. So I'm gonna have Brian come up, walk you guys through the architect layout plans, and then Sean's gonna go through the engineering drawings.
Good evening to the board and building commissioner.
Pull that
my name is
microphone
Brian-
down, please, sir, so you can.
My name is Brian Saluti, and I'm the architect for the project. My office is at 15 Newburgh Avenue, and that's out of Weymouth. So I'm here to present the three-unit townhome building, which is located right there, highlighted in green. And first thing to note is that this site has 3 fronts to it, one on Bates Ave and 2 on California Ave. So it's once on the left and then once on the rear. And just one other thing I'd like to point out on this aerial is that this neighbor right here at 49 California Ave, their property is a little unusual. It extends 4 houses along Bates Ave at the rear, and then it kind of feathers down and it terminates right at 46 Bates Ave at the rear. It's probably about 15 to 20 feet wide, somewhere around there, if you scale it. I've got 4 photos I can show you. If you've seen this one, this is the building that's going to be demolished. And this one here, the building is right here on the right, and with the big green tree, and across the street is a 12-unit building, very well maintained. And if we go back to the site on the right, you notice that big tree. Now, that tree is slated to be removed. What's going on is that the roots of the tree are intertwined into the foundation wall, according to the owner, developer Mike Backme. Next slide here is, this is Bates Ave running left to right, and California Ave running front to back. Now, this beige building right here, that has 5 units in it. And then this building off to the right here, that has 6 units in it. So the site is located here where the tree is, and just want to point out that this site is surrounded by multifamilies, so it should, fit right in. And the last photo I'll show you is this one here. So you're standing at the back of 46 Bates Ave in the backyard, and you're looking toward the barrier wall and the highways beyond that. And I took this in the middle of the winter, and you can see the amount of trees there. I purposely wanted to show the amount of trees. And just so you know, those trees belong to 49 California Ave. Okay, and they're going to remain as is. Next, I'll show you the SP1 drawing. This is an overlay type drawing where I took the site and overlaid it with the ground floor plan. That way you can see, the size of the site and the driveways, that sort of thing. So we're able to park 2 cars in each one of the driveways of all 3 units, as well as park 2 inside the garage. Also note the trees that will replace that tree were taken down, the two trees out front along Bates Ave. And also note the trees toward the rear of the property back here. Those will remain, as I just mentioned, they belong to 49 California Ave. Another thing I want to point out is that you can now see the three frontage that we have for this property. So we declared the rear of the building a side yard, okay? So at the tightest point, it's 15, and then in the middle, it's like 17 feet, if I get that right. And what else can I say about this? There's a street light over here, and I bring that up because the planning department was pretty adamant about providing more lighting toward this back area here. And they convinced us that it would be smart to put like a floodlight or something like that where Unit 3 is, perhaps in the middle of the facade. And I can show you that on the elevations that are coming up. What else? There's catch basins there. You can see the catch basins in the road, right by the street light on both sides of the road. Those are for drainage, obviously, but I bring that up because the neighbor, I think it was the neighbor across the way, had mentioned that they were concerned about drainage runoff from the new development. And we explained that we're going to have a Caltech system and that we're going to be handling our own drainage on site. Those catch basins, by the way, I was out there, and they look like they're in good shape and well-maintained. Also, right at the elbow of California Ave, there's a hydrant. The hydrant looks brand new, and it's always reassuring to have something like that next to your project. And next, I can show you the floor plan layouts for all three units. There's 3 levels here. You've kind of seen the ground floor plan already, the 2 cars in and out. Also on that level is a mechanical room, the front entrances. And an important thing to note is that there are doors on the rear of those garages, and those doors serve as a second means of egress, which is required by code, and it's actually allowed by code to go through the garage. And the second floor is above that ground floor plan. They're basically 3 large rooms containing the kitchen, dining, and living all in that one big open space. Also on that level, we have I would say it's a full bath. I mean, there's a corner shower in there. There's closets, and also there are decks to the rear. There's small decks, but there are decks there. And the plan to the left is a 3rd floor plan, and there we have basically 2 bedrooms, 1 full bath, and a laundry room off the hallway. It's always nice to have a laundry room. So in this case, we have 3 of those. And before I go to the elevation drawing, I just want to point out that we had a peer review done, like Patrick said, and we also had Jim Anderson from the building department review this as well. And they both came to the same conclusion. I had a 4th floor level shown here with empty spaces on the drawing. And we're going to use that for attic storage. And so that would technically be a 4th floor, which is, according to Res B audiences, that would be going against the grain. And it also affects the height, and we're going above the height limit too. So we decided to eliminate that. And I can show you that on the elevation drawings. So over to the right side of that front elevation, there's a dimension there. And that's 35 feet from grade to peak. Before it was higher. So now we have that 3-story building that respects Res B. Also, if you look at the right side elevation, kind of in the middle, you almost have to squint, but there's a floodlight right about there, and that'd be shining toward the wooded area in the back. Also, I'd like to point out the egress doors along the garage level at the ground floor with the decks above. And also note that there's exterior light fixtures next to each one of those exterior doors. So just on the back alone, there's like 6 exterior light fixtures. And then also on the front, there's 3 additional ones with the front doors. So there's like 9 light fixtures right there, plus the floodlight. So I'm thinking illumination is not going to be an issue with this property. And so next I can show you some sketches, how this goes together a little bit. So Bates Ave's running left to right, California's running front to back. So the left side elevation faces Bates Ave, and the front elevation, as Patrick pointed out, that is where the front of the building is going to be. And note the nice 2 cherry trees that would be out front, and also the landscaping along the base of the building. We're also going to have additional smaller landscaping in between the driveways. And trying to think what else I can say here. You can see the barrier wall beyond, and you can see how the trees, come in handy, screening that off. Next sketch looks like this. This is the front of the building, and you're also looking toward Bates and California Avenue elbow is right there. So that dark green area that you see there, that represents 49 California Ave. And those are the trees that belong to them as well. And so they're going to remain as is. They'll do their job providing a screen. And you can also see the public street light right there. And there's a catch basin right next to that. And what else? A nice looking hydrant there. And also there's a drainage easement I forgot to mention. You see it in dash lines there. That's a 10-foot wide. Is it a drainage easement? I'm pretty sure it is. And so that's an easement that we'll be respecting as well.
Is that a city easement or a state easement, you know?
I think it's the city.
City?
I think it is too.
Okay, next sketch I can show you is, this is the rear of the building. You can see the exterior doors down below there, below the deck. See the nice decks. This little area there, I did an enlargement of that area back here. It's a nice little sanctuary area back here. I'm trying to provide a little path going toward that fence and gate. And I'm thinking maybe it would be crushed stone, something like that. And the important thing here is that there's 2 ways out of this rear area. And the planning board did bring up the fact that sometimes these residents like to put demising walls or fences between, their open space, just to, give themselves a little privacy. So in any case, we'd want them to respect that path. So that was the idea about making that path. If that makes sense?
What is the height, by the way, on your back fence?
What's that?
What's the height on the back fence there?
On that back fence, I think it's going to be a standard height, which is 6 feet or 5 feet. 6 feet?
I think 6 feet.
Yeah, okay. 6 feet sounds good. And then the last one I'm going to show you here is, this is roundabout face to the front of the building. You're standing on California Ave and you're looking directly at the front of the building. Note the nice wide driveways for a couple of cars, and then also note the 16-foot wide garage doors. And the last thing I'll mention is the grade slopes from left to right, and it slopes about 5 feet. 5 feet. And so what we did to take the curse out of that is we dropped each dwelling unit a foot. And so that's a description of the architectural portion. I do have a landscape plan. This was done by Karen Goslin from CMG Design. I believe she's out of Abington. And she did a good job with identifying all these smaller plants that are going around the sides of the building and in front of the building. And you can see them cataloged over on the plant schedule. And so that's basically the presentation. And
May I ask you what kind of materials you're going to use on the outside?
say that again.
Materials.
There'll be traditional materials. I'd like to see hardy plank myself, clapboard, and PVC white trim.
I think the board would like to see that too.
Okay. And of course, asphalt shingled roofs and the bump out would have little asphalt roofs on there too. And there's a cantilever going on, like the building length is 26 feet on the ground floor level, and then the two floors above it, 28. So there's a 2-foot cantilever. Yeah, that's about it.
So a little cantilever just kind of shields the door entryway a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 2 feet, pretty healthy amount. So I'll give the floor back to Pat, or we can bring up the civil engineer if you'd like to
Any
hear from
questions for
him.
the architect this time? None at this time. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, which one? There's
Don't
two.
unplug that.
What was that?
That was noise.
Guess it's plugged in, huh?
Holy cow.
Just gotta get out of here. Yeah.
It's gonna set your defib off track.
Careful.
You should be near here.
If you see me going like this, you know what's happening.
See. You tried to warn us. Okay, good evening. My name's Sean Hardy, professional engineer with Hardy and Man Design Group in Weymouth. The civil engineer for the project. Basically, as Brian said, the site generally, it's got that existing house located up on the Bates Ave, and then it slopes kind of to the rear along California Ave. So to match that, we're proposing to, it grades out, we're collecting the roof runoff and infiltrating them in, just down in the back portion here, 7 Cultec chambers that has approximately 660 cubic feet of storage. It's reducing all storms to 10, 25, and 100 up through. Again, that, as was mentioned, we got peer reviewed through planning. There were some significant revisions that were made through that process. So this is the resulting site plan as far as that goes. What it represents is an approximately 2,400 square foot increase in impervious area over the existing condition. So that's why we need to install the 7 Cultec chambers. Other than that, the utilities, just kind of weird way it has to be, but the grading of the sewer, we're proposing a sewer line across the front of our site and taking a U-turn and coming back down California Ave to make the grades work, just the way the building's dropping as it goes. And then water is coming in through here, and there's a sprinkler room located in this corner as well. That
So the Caltex are up on the upper.
Yeah, they're up
California
here.
side.
They're squeezed in between the building and that 10-foot wide easement.
You say 7?
Yes.
Thanks.
So I don't know if-
Just a couple more things that I want to add and clarify. Just want to add the builder here, it's a father-son team. They're Quincy residents. They've lived here a long time. They're excited about the opportunity to try to invest back in their community. Especially, I know as we've gone through this presentation, if there's ever a home that needs it, it's this one. And back to our planning board hearing, we had countless neighbors come out and support and kind of happy to see that somebody's taking the initiative to try to do something positive in this area. So that concludes our presentation, and see if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Is there anyone in the room in favor or undecided?
Can I ask a few questions?
Could you come up to the podium and introduce yourself and give your address? Your name and address for the record.
Jim O'Leary, 115 Bates Ave, Quincy, Mass.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with, how many variances are required and what are they?
So he's looking for FAR, side setback, front setback, lot area per dwelling, lot width, and a parking waiver that was granted by the planning board.
What does that mean?
Which one?
Granted by the planning board.
He went to the planning board before he came to the zoning board to discuss the proposal, and the planning board gave him feedback, which I understand he followed, and that included parking.
So that's no longer an issue then? Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Yes, he's already gone to the planning board for that.
Okay, all right, just trying to find out. Like I said, I live at 115 Bates Ave. My family has been there since 1922, not 2022, 1922. And we've seen a lot of development. And one of the issues with development is traffic. And I see that there's going to be 9 parking spaces here. That means at a minimum, 18 more trips on Bates Ave every weekday. What does that mean for the weekends? Even more. Now, a lot of people say, what's a couple of more? What's a few more cars? Well, I'll tell you, when I was a kid growing up on Bates Ave, my mother wouldn't let me ride my bike on Bates Ave. She used to say, too many cars out there, it's dangerous. Well, since then, they've put hundreds of new homes up on Breakneck Hill. And I'll tell you, if she was alive today, she'd probably tell me, don't drive out there, it's too many cars, it's dangerous. And the issue with that is, a few cars don't make any difference today, but 20, 30, 40 years later, let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. That street, sometimes I have to wait in the morning. I have to wait for 8 or 10 cars go by before I can get out of my driveway without hitting somebody. And this isn't going to help. It's going to make it worse. And, the city of Quincy's been doing this for the 80 years I've been around. And for them, it's tens of thousands of more cars every day. It adds up slowly, but it adds up. And, it's cars. Cars go with homes. These 3, whatever they are like trying to put 3 bags of potato chips in a single bag. What do you get? Crushed potato chips. That's what this is. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Oh, but in case you didn't get it, I'm against this project.
Is there anyone else opposed or undecided? Call that part of the hearing closed. Ready for a discussion, board members?
Hey, Pat, are these rental or are these going to be condos?
The builder doesn't know yet. He's gonna see how what the market dictates, about a year or so when he finishes it right now, when he finishes the project out.
The reason I ask, because we've got a looming referendum coming up in November.
Oh, I know.
So,
Yeah, so he's gonna be weighing what he's gonna do.
thanks.
And I know the board, they'd rather see condos or homeowners, so we'd definitely take that into account.
Thanks, Pat.
Ms. Perry?
I like the layout. I think the exterior design is a little bit lacking. It reminds me of 1995. It looks like a set of plans you pulled out of the drawer and repurposed. If you look at Town Hill's plans, to me, they're much more visually appealing and more modern and current. The exterior look, to me, is lacking. I have no problem with the size and the shape. The look and the style, to me, looks like you pulled it out of a drawer from 1995.
I just had a basic question, I guess. And is the same owner now the owner as when it was a blighted?
No, he bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, he bought it as is, and like I said, I didn't want to put it into the presentation, but you should see some of the pictures of that. The stuff that he had.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the same person.
No.
My point is about the parking, that if they built it without the restrictions, there'd only be 7 spaces required. And they're above that. That's wide planning.
My point is, it's a 2-car spot now. If you put in any more, you're making it worse.
Right, yeah, I agree.
and then it adds up over time.
Yeah, no, we agree. The thing of it is that the only thing that we can abide by is the way that the rules are written for how many spaces are warranted in there and how many are permitted. We can't stop something if they meet the minimum standard, because they're not asking for help on that.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
My question then becomes is, how do you stop all of this increased traffic? How does anybody stop all this increased traffic?
I don't think that there's a way to stop it, to be perfectly honest with you. The only way to stop it is to take the cars off the road, and it's not gonna happen.
It does. Quality of life means a lot.
Right, yeah,
And my quality of life goes down, and I don't have much of it left at my age.
me either.
It goes down every time a car goes up and down that street, but nobody seems to care.
Yeah,
And my family's been here for 100 years. Nobody gives a damn. We
Yeah.
want to bring in new people who could live way down in halfway to Fall River, but we want to make sure they have a nice quality of life when they drive to Boston to work every day. But who cares about the people who live here now?
Yeah.
That's what bugs me.
the whole area up there, we see it all the time with the ward, with Ward 4. It's everywhere in the ward, and there's more development in the pipeline
Yeah.
that's coming, and again, we're limited by what we can do based on if they follow the standards that are set.
Okay, I think the discussion is concluded. Are we ready for a vote? Ms. Barry, is there something about the exterior that would,
What color scheme are you proposing at least? On the siding, trim, et cetera?
Blue, dark blue and white trim.
Mhm. Do you understand my comment? It looks like something that was done 20-some years ago. There's nothing current, modern looking about this design.
You know, I've been 50 years in Quincy, and other stuff I get compliments on all the time. Looks different in the rendering, I guess, you know, than the real.
Perhaps.
It's not the first project.
Okay.
Everyone's very happy when we do it.
Some shutters.
my feeling is that it's, given the neighborhood, I think it's going to be significant improvement over what's going on now. There are large developments in the area already, right across the street and down the street. I think that the nine extra spaces or cars will have an impact, but it's impacting the entire city, unfortunately. So I'm in favor of the project.
I'm in favor of it too. What went on there before was just unacceptable. If you read the police reports, it's page after page after page, over an extended amount of time. So this is a good improvement. I understand it's going to, you're right, I live in Ward 4 and the traffic's terrible. So, but I think this is better than what we have there. So I'd be in favor.
I'm in favor of the project. I like the 3 individual driveways as opposed to a large asphalt sea for parking. I will be voting in favor of the project.
I don't have any questions.
Vote? Yeah, I'll be voting in favor.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
ZBA 26-6, Patrick Foley for variance to demolish the existing structure and construct 3 townhouse-style homes with 9 parking spaces on the premise numbered 45 Bates Ave, Quincy, Mass. I make a motion to accept as presented.
Only-
Separate driveways? Is that what you want?
That's what they have.
That's what they have.
Oh,
Yeah, I was commenting that I liked it.
good. Then that's what we, make a motion to accept as presented then.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
We are adjourned at 7:20.
Meeting adjourned.